Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to this week's episode of Monday Motivation, all about releasing the pressure. I'll come on to more of that in a second. So, Monday Motivation was something that was actually started in type form in 2008 during my time as a manager in financial services, where Mondays, quite frankly, got a bad rap. Monday mornings were seen as doom and gloom and things not to look forward to. There's even been songs that have been written about Mondays. You know, I don't like Mondays and things like that. And I realised really quickly that with a little bit of a spring in our step and a bit of something to look forward to, and at the start of a week, what a great way to use it to springboard ourselves, to boost ourselves, to get more of what we want from life, to really squeeze the juice. So over the years, Monday Motivation started off as just nice sayings that were sent around the office and then went into this modern day way of communicating, of chatting, of speaking to you. So for those of you who are watching live, I want to say a good morning to you, because for those of you that are watching on the replay, these actually broadcast at 7 a.m. UK time every single Monday, apart from a bank holiday. So thank you so much for joining me, and I can see loads of you hopping on. And for those of you that are watching live, don't worry, if you prefer just to watch in the background and you don't really want to type a comment, that's okay too. The one thing that I would ask you to do is to please share this with your friends in one of three ways. Either share this video to your personal timeline. You never know who of your friends, family or acquaintances here on Facebook just might need to hear this message this morning. The other thing you can do is send it as a private message. So if you know of somebody who's going through something and this video might be able to help them, please share it with them as a private message. And then, you know, the third thing that you can do is, whether you're watching this through my YouTube channel or through Facebook, then do invite somebody to come over and like this page. So if you're watching this on Facebook, it's quite easy. You just come to my page, The Queen of Being Seen, Jenny Kovacs, and ask people just to just invite them and let them know why this is a great page for them. If you're watching on YouTube, then have a look at the link below. Click on there, it will take you straight to my page, and give me a like, send me a message, let me know where you've come from, how you've heard about this. I love hearing from people in New Zealand and Australia and Hong Kong, Austria, America, you know, all over the world. So I love hearing how you land here. So with that said, and with many of you ready and raring to go and saying good morning, I think we have, who have we got on? We've got Ian. Morning, Ian. We have Teresa, who's saying good morning. And we have a couple more of you that are watching, and you know, that's fine. If you haven't typed in the box, I'll presume that you just want to kind of stay in the background. So why am I talking about releasing the pressure? This morning I thought I would talk about something that actually, whenever I've got private coaching clients and I speak to them, this comes up in some way, shape or form. Some clients come to me initially and say, look, you know, I've got this level of anxiety around this thing and I really want to be able to not have the anxiety. I want to manage it. Some people come in and say there's something I want to do, I want to forge forward, I want to move ahead. And throughout the process, this piece comes up. And for others, they come in what feels like a state of stress. They're really stressed out and they kind of don't know what to do about it. They've tried everything, they've tried kind of helping themselves, and nothing really seems to be shifting or making a big difference. So if that's you and you want to have a conversation about how we can do that together, then do click the message box at the top of this page. And as I say, if you're watching on YouTube, click on the box, come over to this page and send me a message. And I will be happy to arrange a way in which we can discuss whether we are a good way to work together or whether you might need something else. So with that said, releasing the pressure, there's a very famous saying, which I'm sure I'm about to mess up now, but it goes something like, if we're stressed, we're living in the past. If we're anxious, we're living in the future. So the best thing to do is to stay present. Now I've kind of summarised that, and I can't remember who said it. It's been attributed to a few different people. But the most important thing about this is, as we start a new week, We might start it with fresh opportunities. We might start it with new challenges. We might start it with not knowing how this week is going to be. You know, for many of us, we don't know what's going to happen. So a lot of people will enter into something new. It might be a new project, a new task, a new week, a new day, a new hour, and often will reference it from their past. So in the quote that I just kind of messed up, we will look back at our past and use that as a marker for our future. So how does that work in real life? Quite often we'll look back at things that we've done in the past that might not have worked out so well for us, and we'll use that. I'm going to move this closer a little bit because I feel really distant from you all. And we might use that as our benchmark. We might use that as our benchmark for what's about to happen. But unless we can see into the future and we're crystal clear on exactly what's going to happen, who we're going to meet step by step, we might have an inkling, but we might not know for sure, then what we're doing is we're kind of marking ourselves down before we even start. And this is a really brilliant way as human beings that we can make things complex and add pressure to something that we don't know anything about. So looking back in our past to go forward to our future is not the best of strategies. And if you think of a specific time in your life when you've done this well, when you have you've done something and you haven't been stressed, you might have surprised yourself by not being stressed out about it. But if you think back to a time in your life when you've done that, it's likely that you haven't been looking at the past and all the things that didn't work out, all the things that went wrong, and it's likely that you haven't brought those into your present time. So that's one thing to look out for. Now, something else to think about when we're looking to the future, and I see this a lot in the business world, whether you're successful in a corporate setting or successful as a business owner, quite often we have this to-do list, and all we think about is the future of that to-do list, getting it done, tick it off, cross it out. I did that the wrong way around. Tick it off, cross it out, and then we'll go on to the next thing. And this can bring a lot of internal pressure. It's a bit like a pressure cooker, actually, because it can really build the internal pressure. And for many of us, we're quite high performing, high functioning until something gives. And it could be a seemingly small thing that just goes. And when that goes, that's what can really erupt the pressure. And in some respects, at least if that pressure is out, we can see it, whether it's a temper tantrum, whether we get upset, whether we feel like we're just breaking down. It's a way at least that we can see that something isn't as it should be. And I see so many people that are so much on to the next thing, so much future pacing, so much kind of going for it, that it actually causes a lot of anxiety. And as I say, if we've been used to placating ourselves and almost anaesthetising ourselves for a long period of time, it's actually quite difficult to spot it. And it's definitely a difficult thing to spot it within yourself. That's why so many people in the world out there do coaching in some way, shape or form, whether it's a group program, whether it's a one-to-one program, whether it's executive coaching, business coaching, or sort of life coaching around relationships, wellness, health, or anything else like that. And the most successful people I know, and these are people that are happy with the way that their life are going, know that whilst everything starts from the inside, the place to look outside is to work with somebody to be able to move them forward. You know, I was speaking to somebody just recently about this coming Wednesday, and I've got this event in London. And I decided this year that I wanted a very small and intimate event, almost like we're sat around a small boardroom table, if you like, and looking at the things that haven't worked for us in a healthier way, the things that we would like to aspire to and achieve, and how we can deal with that in the present. And just using that very simplistic way is a great start, and it is just a start. Obviously, I can't give you the answers to life and everything else in you know a few short minutes on a video, but it's a really great start to help us live the life that we want to in the way that we want to. You'll hear the buzzwords like living a bigger game or living life on our terms. And what I know that really means to me is the bigger game piece comes from when we have these ambitions and these goals and we want to go for them. But in the meantime, we don't want to put ourselves under so much immense pressure that we feel like we're a failure every 5 minutes, which is how a lot of people, by the time they come to me, they've got to that stage and beyond. So Sharisha says she hears me. The past is to be learnt from, and it's important to stay rooted. It's important not to stay rooted there. Absolutely. So one of the things that if you're not going back to the past, and as Sharisha says, you're not staying rooted there, or you're going and looking at the future, and you're finding it's causing you anxiety or pressure or just immense kind of stress and feeling anxiousness all the time. What do? Well, why not look at ways at which you can bring yourself back to the present? And when you think about it, the present's like now, and that's the past, and now, and now, and now. So how would you do that? Well, a couple of really great ways to do this, especially if you're looking to be motivated this Monday. Have a look at what you have. Have a look at, for all the goals and plans that you've got, what have you achieved? What are you proud of in this present moment? Is it your family? Is it the fact that you were able to spring out of bed this morning pain-free? Is it the fact that you are able to help other human beings? And when we start to look at getting really present, it really fills us up. So for those of you that haven't tried it before, or maybe have tried before, today marks the start of, and if you're watching this on the replay and you're watching this 3 months later, you've missed it. But today marks the start of Deepak and Oprah's meditation experience, and they're actually every few months they kind of run a free trial, so you get the opportunity to experience meditation, whether you're a novice at it or whether you're great at it. Very recently I met a lady who actually gave a video testimonial for her, because I do meditate. I'd like to say I meditate every day. I meditate most days, even I fall off the wagon with that. But the difference that it makes to stop a person from going back to the past and pulling out the unhealthy stuff that really isn't serving them, or forging forward to the future in such a way that has them frantic and anxious, but being able to stay present, I really attribute meditation to that. And in a podcast interview that the recording was completed yesterday, I specifically talked about finding the space within, which is a whole nother subject for a whole nother time. But when we can do that, we can really be mindful, and we can really show gratitude for being present. And it's that makes a difference, turns the pressure slowly down and eventually off. And sometimes it's quite quickly down and then off. So if you are starting your week and you've got any anxiety around something, take some time to sit in silence, go for a walk, meditate, reflect, but reflect in a way in your present moment. How can you squeeze the juice of gratitude out of what you've got right now? This will make a massive, massive difference. And it's something that I do go into a lot more detail when I have the opportunity to work with you, either in a group setting or a one-to-one setting. So I'm hoping that's been beneficial and useful to you. Thank you so much for the love hearts. Thank you, top fan Sharisha, for coming on live and sharing your wisdom as always. And I look forward to seeing some of you on the Tuesday tip, which is happening over in the Visibility Vibes Tribe tomorrow. For those of you that have been kind of wondering and sitting on the fence about this week's Ultimate Visibility Bootcamp, if you are feeling stuck in how you're showing up in the world, we've got a mixture of people from newbies that are just starting their new business. We've got people that have been at it for a long time and they want to grow that. And we've got people of different kind of demographics and age as well. So if you know that this is something you want to do and you're thinking, yikes, it's on Wednesday, do whatever you can to make it happen. We've even got somebody joining us through live stream. So do whatever you can to make it happen and get yourself there. Thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to hearing more about how you use these tips. And if you want to continue the conversation, either put some comments below and share what comes up for you as it comes up for you, what light bulb moments you have, what you're going to do differently. Or if you want a more private and personal space to go and speak about this, then go over to the Visibility Vibes Tribe and go in there and just continue the conversation there. Use the hashtag Monday Motivation so that people can find those conversations. There's quite a few hundred of you in there. So thank you so much for joining me. Hello to you, France Lees, lovely lady, and do remember to share this with friends. You never know who might need to undo the pressure and might need a little bit of Monday motivation. Thank you so much for joining me. Lots of love to you. Bye for now.